you don't want to miss out on any of the Southern Yankee DIY projects, room renovations, or budget-savvy home decor. Today we've got something new and super exciting planned for y'all. We teamed up with a bunch of our incredibly talented YouTube friends to bring you guys a Pinterest remake project. We all chose a different cake stand on Pinterest and then decided to recreate it. I think you guys are going to absolutely love what we came up with, and I can't wait to show you my cake stand. So let's get started. So for this project, I took a picture off of Pinterest and decided to recreate it, but in my own style and with kind of a farmhouse-esque look. So I used a Dollar Tree tray, a Dollar Tree base, and this little wooden square that I got for 98 cents at Michael's. I started by using my favorite Rust-Oleum satin paint to paint all of my pieces. Rust-Oleum is definitely my favorite spray paint brand. I always recommend them. I never get any drips and the coverage is always really great. So definitely recommend Rust-Oleum. I like to use their 2x paint. That's my favorite. After my paint was dried overnight, I went ahead and used this Valspar antiquing glaze. And I just started on the back of the plate because I wanted to make sure that I would like the color. And it's always a good idea to start on the back just to make sure that you like how the glaze is going to look on the paint. So once I decided that I was happy with how that was going to turn out, I went ahead and took the glaze and went over all of my pieces. There are many ways to apply glaze to your pieces. I like to just use an old rag and then brush it in until I get that desired color that I'm looking for. You could also use a brush, you could use a sponge, lots of different options. It just depends on what you prefer. I just followed the same process for all three materials. They are all different. This piece right here is wooden, the plate is obviously tin, and then the base is glass. So the stain is going to look a little different on each piece. So I decided to go ahead and incorporate even another color because I wanted something a little bit lighter, and the stain turned that wooden piece a little bit darker than I would have liked. So for my second stain, I decided to use this Minwax Pickled Oak. I just wanted to add a lighter stain to the mix, and I really love this one. I've had it from past projects and it always looks super pretty. So I applied it just the same way with an old rag. I actually used the same rag and just flipped it over, and it goes on all three pieces just the same way, just to give it a little more texture. Next, I added this tan paint that I had. It was just a sample and I just dry brushed it on. So dry brushing is a technique where you take your paintbrush and you just dip it in a small amount of paint and then you kind of like wipe it off. So you have a minimum amount of paint on your brush. And then you just brush over your pieces just the same way. I just wanted these pieces to have a little bit more of like a light oak look. And I think that this Dapper Tan paint really accomplished that for me. After all of my paint and my stain was dry, it was time to go ahead and attach the pieces together. For this, I always recommend wearing gloves because I'm going to use this Loctite super glue. And you don't want it on your hands, it peels off and then your skin comes off too, so that's never fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and dab it around the bottom of my vase so that I can stick it on that little wood applique. Hold pressure for a few seconds and you're gonna let it completely dry overnight. Next, I went ahead and dabbed on the Loctite super glue around the top of the vase so that I could attach the plate. Now this part's a little bit tricky because you want to make sure that your plate is exactly in the center. So start from the bottom and just make sure that as soon as you touch down that it's right in the center of that vase, or else your plate will likely flip over whenever you put any kind of dessert on it. Hold it down the same way and then let it dry overnight. And that's it, a super easy farmhouse-esque cake stand from all supplies from the Dollar Tree. It was super budget savvy to make and so much fun. I hope you check out all of my other friends who created beautiful cake stands from Pinterest inspiration photos. Don't forget to tell them that we said hello, and I hope y'all have a great day.